Welcome to SPP Pumps manufacturing plant here in Gloucestershire. We have produced this short video to make available some information and instruction on how to safely carry out the weekly test running of a diesel-driven fire pump. The equipment we will be using is the SPP fire pump package, comprising of a TF15E pump, a JW6HNL40 engine and an FD4E controller. This equipment is from the SPP Pump's world-renowned range of NFPA, FM, UL-approved fire pumps. This particular diesel fire pump set may differ from the equipment you have to work with, but the key principles of health and safety, operation and testing remain basically the same. To carry out weekly fire pump testing in a safe and proper manner requires a few simple checks and adhering to some good working practices. Firstly, there are a number of health and safety aspects that we need to bring to your attention. This equipment is fast rotating machinery. It quickly develops a significant amount of heat, a build-up of both hot and cold liquid pressures and a considerable amount of noise. That said, there are some basic practices which can reduce the risk of accidents and decrease the number of occasions when the equipment isn't available for emergency operation. We advise against undertaking these tasks unless you have been trained and are familiar with the equipment. We recommend you carry out the weekly testing at the same time on the same day. We advise against undertaking the weekly testing towards the latter part of the day or before a weekend or a holiday. Allow sufficient time to complete all of the tasks in a thorough and unhurried manner. Make sure your work colleagues know where you are and what you are doing. Wear the appropriate personal protective equipment. We recommend safety shoes, overalls, gloves, eye protection and ear defenders. Make sure the pump room entry and exit doors are unobstructed. Ensure the room has adequate ventilation to accommodate the engine running for 30 minutes. Ensure the area around the fire pump is clear. This will allow you easy, unrestricted access to all parts of the equipment.
As part of the weekly test run procedure, there are some more localised tasks which will assist in making sure your equipment is able to safely carry out a 30-minute test run. Make sure the area is free from any visible signs of potential problems. You are looking for signs of fuel, oil or water leaks, loose or incorrectly fitted machine guards, anything out of the ordinary. Check the main control panel is clear of any alarms. If an alarm is present, resolve the problem before continuing. Make sure the fuel tank is full of diesel. Check engine oil level. Check engine cooling water level. The equipment may be fitted with pump suction and delivery pressure gauges. These need to be monitored throughout the test run.
These simple checks are fundamental to the good operation and overall well-being of the equipment. They should never be overlooked. We will now move on to the control functions associated with testing this equipment. We recommend that you provide prior notice to all necessary persons that a weekly test of the fire pumps is about to take place. As with most rotating machinery, wearing of safety glasses is a proven method to reducing the likelihood of an injury to your eyes. In addition, the diesel engine could produce in excess of 100 decibels of noise. Therefore, the wearing of good quality ear defenders is also necessary.
If a lamp test feature is included on your equipment, it is recommended you test the control panel alarms before proceeding with the equipment test run. On this particular control panel, to illuminate and check all control panel LEDs and sound the audible alarm, press and hold the lamp test button for 5 or more seconds. Releasing the button will stop the test. This control panel has a built-in test start feature, whilst your equipment may have another means of reducing the system water pressure.
We are now ready to start and run this equipment, but before we do, there are some things you should know and some tasks you should be prepared to carry out immediately as the engine starts. These responsibilities should also be carried out continuously whilst the equipment is going through its 30-minute test run. Before the engine starts, put on your ear defenders, making sure they are both secure and comfortable. Once the engine has started, make sure the tachometer is indicating the correct engine speed. Confirm sufficient cooling water is coming out of the engine water cooling discharge pipe. Ensure the pump delivery pressure gauge is registering an increase in water pressure. And finally, make sure there are no visible faults with the equipment or alarms present on the control panel. If any of these events do not take place from the outset or changes occur whilst the engine is running or the equipment develops a fault, then stop the test run immediately. To do this, you will need to stay in close attendance for the full duration of the test run. Ordinarily, you would now start the engine and be prepared to run the equipment for a minimum of 30 minutes. For the sake of this production, we will start the equipment and only run it for a short period of time.
With this controller in auto mode, pressing and holding the test start button for 2 or more seconds will open the water pressure drain solenoid. This drop in water pressure causes the controller to start the engine. When the time comes to stop the engine, this is achieved by pressing the engine stop button.
Not all diesel engines are fitted with a stop push button. Some engines have a stop lever attached to the engine mounted fuel pump. If you have one of those types of arrangements, it is good practice to gradually reduce the engine speed over a period of about 30 to 40 seconds before finally bringing the engine to a standstill. Whilst the test run is taking place and you are in close attendance, it is good practice and an ideal opportunity to check the battery water levels, ensure all machine guards are securely fixed, confirm the pump bearing temperatures, confirm pump gland adjustments are correct and gland drain pipes are clear, and whether there is any adverse vibration emanating from the pump. Once the test run is completed and the engine is stationary, record the hours run from the service meter, refill the diesel fuel tank and check for any signs of leaks or other possible defects. Verify the control panel is clear of any alarms or unwanted signals and ensure the equipment is left in automatic mode, in a state of readiness should there be a requirement to operate in case of an emergency. Due to the high engine temperature, do not at this stage attempt to check engine cooling water or lubrication oil levels. We trust this has provided sufficient information for you to understand and work safely with this type of equipment. For any further technical information or product requirements, please get in touch with SPP Pumps or visit www.sppumps.com.